Okay, we saw a typical structure guide to answer this kind of interview question types. You can extend the answer according to what you want to say. Okay, now let's focus on 5 tips, most important tips for interview question types, right? The first most important tip for interview questions is remain calm. The more anxious and uncomfortable you are, the more difficult it will be to keep your fluency and maintain coherence, right? It may feel overwhelming to have to use a wide range of vocabulary and grammatical structure accurately and with the intended meaning, okay? But you have to keep your mind under control. Tell yourself, I can't do this. Just remember, the examiner means to help you and it's her job to make you feel comfortable. The test format is designed to encourage this as well, as you'll be first asked some basic questions about familiar topics like family or your home. The examiner may feel a bit robotic at times, but that's due to the scripted nature of the test and the fact that the examiner is focused on administrating the test, reading the questions, and giving instructions, okay? All this while assessing and grading your language. No wonder they are tense, it's a hard job. Just feel relieved that all you need to do is answer some questions. Again, just relax, smile, and do your best to speak to the examiner as if you are really having an interesting and engaging conversation with someone, okay? All right. Let's have a look at the second most important thing. Focus only the question. At the start of tests, just give the information that's needed rather than expanding too much on your answers. Wait until you hear questions, okay, about your home, work, school life, and so on before giving more extended answers. Even then, provide relevant answers and avoid rambling on about everything you can think of. Candidates often stray from the topic by going off on tangents. Okay, avoid this. It should be fairly obvious, but make every effort to answer the question. Don't refuse or give up on the questions, okay? For example, rather than saying I don't know, or I can't answer that question, try this one. That's a tricky question. Let me think about that. Yeah, I guess I would say that, okay? You can start with this kind of sentence, all right? Instead of saying I don't know and I can't answer that question or something else. Okay? You can start, like I said, that's a tricky question, or let me think about that. Yeah, I guess I would say that, or blah blah blah, okay? Then do your best to answer the question. The phrases above are useful for giving yourself some thinking time and could get you out of a jam. Using these filler phrases also shows your ability to keep speaking despite facing a difficult question, alright? Alright. Number 3. It is a monologue, okay? It's not a dialogue. You are the one that will talk only, okay? In this speaking, in this interview questions. It's important to understand that the examiner reads from a script and she can say very little beyond what's written in her test booklet. This can lead to some awkward moments if you try to ask the examiner a question. For example, there are sometimes confusing issues that arise regarding some of the questions that refer to your home. Okay? Candidates often don't know whether they are supposed to talk about their home country or the place where they are living at the time of the exam. If you don't understand something, ask the examiner politely to repeat the question. Avoid asking too many questions, alright? Your job is to answer the questions, alright? And show the examiner what you can do in English. Rather than trying to clarify the home issue with the examiner, just indicate which home you would like to speak about and use appropriate language to do so. Alright? Rather than, should I talk about my home country or Boston? It really doesn't matter which one you speak about. It's more important that you address the question and express yourself coherently. Alright? It doesn't matter which home you are talking about. Try this one. Well, I would like to talk about Boston because I'm really starting to feel like this is my second home. Okay? Well, I'm only here in Boston for a short time, so I'll talk about my hometown, for example. Okay? Just focus on the solution, all right, instead of focusing on the problem. It should go without saying that you shouldn't try to engage the examiner in conversation before nor after the exam. Just say good afternoon and follow the examiner's direction. All right. The fourth tip, extend answer if necessary. If you have ever taken any speaking exam before, you may have noticed that the examiner will respond to simple answer by asking why. This is because she needs you to say more she can accurately evaluate your language. However, if the examiner feels like she has to coax information out of you continually by asking why all the time, you could be marked down for lack of fluency. Giving short, 1 or 2 word answer won't work. Alright, here is important. You should always expand your answers with the explanations, with the examples, alright? All this doesn't do much to show off your language ability. On the other hand, don't be overly alarmed if the examiner asks you why a few times. It's their job to keep you talking, okay? Instead of, for example, this dialogue, what's your favorite color? Blue, I think. Why? I don't know. I just like it. Instead of this, try this one. What's your favorite color? Okay. Blue, I think. Yeah, blue. Because it reminds me of the ocean and the sky. I feel calm when I see the color blue. I also like to wear blue because it looks good on me. Okay? We are expanding the answer and showing our ability in English. Okay? It is another important point. Alright, the last tip is add some key phrases strategically, okay? Think about what you can say in various situations that may arise during the test. For example, the first part of the test will ask you about things like your family, your career, your life. Okay? This is a great time to show off your ability to use different tenses. Okay? For home, for example, I have lived in my apartment for 2 years. For family, for example, we have been married for only 6 months. We have been an engineer for 14 years, for example, for work. Whatever. Okay? I have been studying English for 5 years. Whatever. Okay? Be strategic and add some key phrases according to that. Alright? So, these are the most important tips for interview questions for IQ level 4 English exam. Apply these techniques and study on the sample questions on the next videos to be well prepared for this type of questions. Okay.